March is Women's History Month, and in honor of it, a 104-year-old Minnesota veteran is sharing her story. Lois Widmark lives in Lincoln County, Minnesota, about 3 hours west of Minneapolis. She served in World War II as a code breaker. And here's a look at the way her role helped the Allies prevail.
They had a big party for my 100th birthday.
When Lois Widmark turned 104 in January, the party wasn't quite as big, but that's okay. Because these days she spends a lot of time at her Ivanhoe home, doing what she loves.
I read a lot. I embroidered 52 dish towels 2 years ago. Muggins and I have a lot of time together.
Muggins is her 5-year-old cat, and he's not the only animal in the house. Lois is also a big fan of elephants.
At one point, I counted 230 some.
230 some elephants.
Yeah, well, some of them were little.
Time at home is time for reflection. In 1944, when Lois was 22, she wanted to help with the war effort. So she and a friend decided to join the Navy.
That's what people said. I let my patriotism get the best of me.
She became part of a women's branch called WWII, which stood for Women Accepted for Voluntary Emergency Services. Lois and thousands of others were given the task of cracking German and Japanese codes for the U.S. military. They were known as the Code Girls.
There were a lot of girls doing that. We had to be at least 5 feet tall and weigh 95 pounds.
They worked with mechanical devices called bombs to crack the codes, much like the one invented by British mathematician Alan Turing. Lois and the WWII were highly effective.
I only wished I would have joined sooner.
She moved back to Nebraska after the war and went to college on the GI Bill. She got a teaching degree and then moved to Ivanhoe, Minnesota, after marrying her husband, Arnold. He also served in World War II.
Both my parents are World War II veterans, and that didn't happen very often that both parents were World War II veterans.
In recent years, Lois wrote a memoir called Echoes of My Life.
This is my early life at Whitehall and what I did there.
It details her childhood, her time in the military, and how she and her family built a life in western Minnesota. Lois sells the memoir and a photo for $100, with all the money going towards a scholarship for future teachers at Southwest State University. After all, she's their oldest living alum.
The quilt of valor you have here.
Lois also does her best to keep up with other women who were part of World War II.
Not many of them even get to 100 before they're gone.
A sad reality, but also the reason why she believes it's her duty to tell their story and carry on their legacy.
World War II was everybody's war.